Drone incidents are once again straining relations between South Korea and North Korea, two countries technically still at war. What may seem like isolated flights across a border are now fueling diplomatic tensions, political scandal, and fears of escalation on the Korean Peninsula. Let's break down what happened and why it matters. Tensions escalated after Kim Yo-jong, the influential sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, warned a few weeks ago that repeated drone intrusions would bring terrible consequences. According to Pyongyang, there have been 4 recent drone incidents involving South Korean aircraft entering North Korean airspace. Such flights violate the armistice agreement that ended active fighting in the Korean War in 1953, though both sides have violated its terms before. The drone issue isn't new. In 2022, a North Korean drone flew over Seoul for hours, catching South Korea off guard. In response, the then-President Sun Yuk-sul expanded anti-drone measures and lifted parts of a no-flight zone to improve surveillance capabilities. But the move also opened the door for activists to send balloons carrying anti-regime messages into North Korea. Pyongyang retaliated, and not with drones but with balloons filled with trash drifting south. Then came a dramatic twist. Yoon Suk-yeol was later removed from office after a failed attempt in December 2024 to impose martial law, and drones played a surprising role in that political crisis. Reports reveal that in October and November 2024, just before the imposition of the martial law, at least 18 South Korean drones flew over sensitive North Korean locations, including areas near Kim Jong-un's residence. Although President Yoon denied authorizing these missions, military notes suggested a troubling possibility that the drone flights were intended to provoke a North Korean military response, potentially giving Yoon a justification to declare a state of emergency. If true, drones were not just surveillance tools, but political instruments. After Yoon's removal, a new South Korean government took office in June 2025 and attempted to stabilize relations with Pyongyang. But North Korea continued to claim that drones were still crossing its border. At first, Seoul didn't know how to respond, until a South Korean man in his 30s came forward, telling media outlets that one of the drones shown in North Korea photographs was his. He claimed that he had flown his drone north to collect data on radioactive radiation near a nuclear plant in North Korea. Police investigations later confirmed that 3 South Korean civilians had flown drones into North Korean territory. 2 were reportedly shot down. What seemed like amateur enthusiasm quickly gained political weight when it was revealed that 2 of those individuals had previously worked for ex-President Yoon. The 3 citizens are now under investigation and barred from leaving the country. For the new government in Seoul, the situation is delicate. On one hand, it has issued apologies to reduce tensions. On the other, Pyongyang remains skeptical and continues to frame the incidents as deliberate provocations. The Korean Peninsula has long existed in a fragile state of suspended conflict. Drone technology, cheap, accessible, and difficult to trace, adds a new layer of unpredictability. And in a region where even small incidents can escalate rapidly, unmanned aircraft may carry very real consequences. The question now is whether diplomacy can cool the skies, or whether these incidents signal a new phase of tension between North and South Korea. Because on the Korean Peninsula, even small drones can cast very long shadows.